F4 joint is happening between the PCB panel, two PCB panels over there, and it is using a metal plate. So the description is given, it's 495 by 280, and it's a 10 mm thick plate, and it has got LT screws over there. So there is no welding happening over here. You are just joining two PCB panels with this plate and LT screws. And this is being done by which trade? Any guesses? Who would be doing this thing?
Isn't it precast?
Yep. So people who would be installing your precast would be doing this. So this has to be measured under precast, right? So wherever their F4s are there, those are part of your precast trade. Go and look into NZ SMM. How would you be measuring those joints? Right. Then this is a section A detail where there is a precast joint happening over here, and there is a on the other side of the wall you have got some structural steel joining. So this is part of structural steel, but this end plate which is happening on the back side of the precast panel, which is jointed with two LT screws over here, and the remaining two would be coming from this structural steel thing. You would be measuring this end plate, backing plate basically over here, 570 by 300 by 10 mm backing plate. So that is this long backing plate over here would also be measured under precast panel. And wherever, how many times it is happening, you need to check your drawings, and you have to multi that those many times. You have to have those many screws, how many times this whole thing is happening. So your F4 is happening over here, 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 here on your grid line D. And you can check on other grid lines as well. And this is your section A happening over here, 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 and here on grid line D. Check other grid lines as well if those details are happening somewhere else as well. All right. So this was a good question, and you guys need to understand this thing as well. So I just wanted to share this thing with you. If you use M3 for QV, how can we calculate? All right. Let me give you an example. So you would be having a 600 by 400 strip footing. So you put in your item details over there, including reinforcing and everything. Now, you know the cost. What is the volume of 600 by 400 for 1 meter length? So again, I go back and draw this thing. This is your 1 meter cube. So it has got 1 meter length, 1 meter width, and 1 meter high, basically. All right. So you got 1 meter. Now your 600 by 400. So that means it's 400 deep. Let me have a different color. So it is 400 deep. It is 600 wide. So this is something happening over here right now. And it's going like this. So you can see your volume of the strip footing is not same as 1 meter cube, because this black thing is 1 meter cube. So your volume for this strip footing for a 1 meter length would be 1 into 0.6 into 0.4. So what is the volume? 0.24. So cost of 1 meter cube of strip footing has been given to you as 1510, which includes reinforcing formwork, backfill, side concrete, everything. So what would be the cost of 0.24 meter cube, which is your strip footing, for 1 meter length? So this is 0.424 is representing 1 meter length, isn't it? Because it is 400 over here. It is 600 over here. And it is 1 meter long. This is 1 meter long. So this is 1 meter length of this member, and that is a volume. So you multiply it, the cost, with 0.24, and you get a value for 1 meter length of this thing. So multiply 1510 into 0.24. It comes to $362.40. So that is your cost for 1 meter of this strip footing. Similarly, if you got 600 by 300, you do it similarly. Your toe footing, maybe 800 by 400, you do the same thing. You just come to this cost for 1 meter of this element. So you measure the volume. What is the volume for 1 meter? So 1 meter volume for this thing would be 0.32. You multiply this thing with 0.32, you'll get a different cost, which will be for 1 meter of this unit. It is very simple, very easy. Is it understood now? How to calculate from QE? You pick up this cost from QE, and then you convert for your individual members, what would be the cost? And you have your 03.1 would be this thing, 2.03.2 would be this thing, 2.03 would be something coming from here. Very easy. Does it make sense?
Yes.
All right.
So for the Ronnie's way, actually more complicated. From the beginning, we did actually the Ronnie's way, but this way actually more easier.
See, you need to understand Ronnie's way as well, because this thing.
Yeah, I understand. So actually, we already
your Rawlinson or QE may not have everything over there. You may come across something which is very unique to your drawings. then how would you calculate? Then you have to build up. So you need to understand the built up as well. And you'll be using your built up later in this course when you'll be doing other elements. So you need to understand, if I do not have Rawlinson on me, but I have got historical data, so how would I calculate? I would calculate with this thing. I don't have access to QV. I'll build it up like this. Right? This is how you do it. With my historical data, because I got the rate for my foam work from my historical data, I got the rate from for my concrete from my historical data. I've got the rate for site concrete from my historical data. I've got the rate for excavation and backfill from our historical data. So I'm not using Rawlinson at all. I have been given an historical data from previous projects my company has done. So I would use that historical data and build up my rates. So you could be in that situation. No, as long as you're showing it that you have picked up from there. But if you do one exercise of build up, it would be much better, because Ronnie would understand, all right, this guy has understood the build up process as well. And that is the purpose of that assignment, that you should also understand how to build up a rate. So it's up to you. I would recommend you to do your build ups as well if you're doing.
Hi, AJ. Can I still use this method when I calculate the spread concrete wall?
Yes, spread concrete wall. The other day I was telling that you got two footings like this, which is happening to your precast. Think it of as a two footing happening like this.
Yes, thank you.
Yep. So your column, yeah, it will be after your rates column, where you picked up your rates. It will be there. You have to show it. I can again show you how we did it basically, so that makes things easy for you guys. So if you look at this over here, we have done our built ups over here. So these are the built up rates over there. And you can show your workings over here in this column, like how did you do your working for everything. I think it's on a site, and it's already been shown over here. See, this is you can see, and then you got your rates, total rates over there. So this is how you do it. And these rates would be transferred. So whatever the total is there would be transferred into your elemental summary. So this is your summary, and your site preparation, your E02, your E03, all rates would be transferred over there, and then you'll be calculating your elemental rate for that element. So that's what it is basically. So this divided by this will give you this. So E10 divided by GFA is this. Gives you this. and what percentage it becomes. So percentage is basically of this thing. So this divided by this will give you that percentage. So in your situation, you would be doing your rates for your E1, your E2, your E4, and your E6. And you don't have to delete anything over there. If E3 is there, leave it like that. Just there would be blanks going over there, and it will automatically calculate you the rates for GFA. And the percentage would be a lot higher because you have just calculated 4 elements over there. So your total would be total of 4. So each thing would maybe around 20% or 18% or something over there right now, because those 4 elements are constituting making 100% of your assignment as of now. But once you have done all your rates, then you'll get your allocation done accordingly. Once you've calculated everything until E27. Right? So this is what you need to be doing when you'll move into your group assignment. So I'm giving you an idea. Lots of things going to happen. And as soon as you start your, you come back to your Zoom lectures and all. So you'll be doing your workbook for everything. All of that has to be measured. And then you'll be preparing your element summary. You'll be preparing your cash flow as well. Because what is the build-up period over there, and what would the cash flow happening? So you'll be doing that. How would be you'll be paying? All these tables would be, and your cash flow for construction time and your cash flow. How is your cash flow going? Would be all described. This is all you need to do, and your estimation of cash flow. So if your final completion is like 31st of December 2022, construction period is 8 months. How is your, so all your figures from your elements would be coming over here, and then it will be going out as a cash flow. How would you be paying in your first month, your second month? All these things would be, and you'll be doing your retention and all that thing. So there are lots of things going to happen, which you need to calculate. And then that's your cash flow. So yeah, 6035 is all about your cash flow, your money, because you're costing, your name of the subject is cost planning. So you're planning your cash flow. You're planning what months where we have to pay how much money based on the information given to you, because you're working for your client, and you're preparing your client to make sure that he has got all that money available at that particular time, because when the construction will start, there would be cash flow happening. So it is not only the measurement you will be doing for the elements. The most important part is you would be making a cash flow, summary for the whole life of the project until it's constructed, finished. And this is what you'll be doing. So this is a very important subject, and it is very different from your SOQ preparation 6033 or 6034, because you are not dealing with the cash element over there. You're just doing your takeoffs as per your ANZ SMM. Over here, you are doing your takeoffs given the whatever the information has been provided to you, and then you are converting your measurements into your cash statements and cash flows uh, as the construction begins and progresses. All right. So it is quite important for you to understand this. I don't want to overload you right now, but this is what is going to come in next 8 weeks for you guys, which you will be working on just in 6035. In the build-up rate, why don't we include concrete pumping cost for footing in Ronnie's example? There would be lots of things happening. Then you have to put in your labor cost as well. You have to put your labor cost for your, for bending the pipes or putting the chairs and everything. Do you want to calculate for everything, Chandra? Removal of trees is site clearance. That probably has been included. Your concrete price, when you see your concrete price, which is 25 MPa, that is concrete delivered to the site. So that includes everything. It has been delivered where it has been required. So don't get too much bugged into minor details over there. 6035 is overall macro planning. It is not micro planning. So don't get into micro details basically, because if you do that thing, you will be confusing yourself and you'll be confusing everybody else as well. So when you look at your concrete pricing in Rawlinson, it includes the delivery and pumping and everything. So if you want to go for detail pricing, then everything has got detail pricing. We are not looking at detail pricing right now. Yes, it's 1.02. All after your demolition, you do your clearance, your vegetation and all that thing. So trees come in vegetation and all. So it's 1.02. Yeah, like site clearance is measured in square meters. So you don't have to worry about how many trees are there which needs to. You need to worry about that I have to clear 1600 square meter of site. It may have 10 trees, it may have 20 trees, it may have a forest on it. The cost of clearance would be done in square meters.
Hi, RJ, can I ask a question about the precast panel? Hello, RJ?
Just a sec. I'm just reading. In the build-up rates, you will just include the trees. Yes, you would be including that thing when you'll be doing the build-up for site clearance here. So yes, what about precast panel?
For the precast panel, I'm looking for the element analyze block. It's sure we need to finish also need to do 4.01 is a fair face finish. But from the cost planning, the rate, it's not included over there. So do we need to add extra fair face finish into the 4.01 for the the detail rate?
Now you need to understand what is what is element 4?
It's a structural walls.
Okay, so structural walls are basically the walls which carry the load, of the whole building basically. So now structural walls can be an exterior wall as well. So if they are exterior walls, they might require a kind of finish. You know? So you just mention in your details over there. So if it says whatever finish is required in your PCP panel, if it is being used as a structural wall as well as an external wall, you mention it in your detail. All right. So you are measuring structural walls in 4.01. You're not measuring any, external facades or those kind of things. That you'll come to that element later. So don't worry about it. If your PCP panel stays, there is a finish over there, and it is being used as your structural wall, just mention it in your 4.01. If your drawing says that it has got some certain kind of finish, and that PCP panel is a structural wall, then you just state that thing.
Yeah, it's actually stated it's a plain finish. So I found it's actually in the external wall. So for that rate, do I need to add to the the 4.01? This is what I mean. So I already go to
No, you just mention it in your details, in your elemental detail, that 150 mm thick PCP panel, whatever type it is, used as a structure wall with this finish.
Oh, I just need to state. I don't need to actually add the rate.
Yeah. So if you're building up the rate, then you're doing that. If you got the rate for from Rawlinson with that similar kind of finish, you just do it what we did right now for your strip footing.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I got it. I just add on, yeah.
If you're building up the rate, then you have to do lots of things. For PCP panel, then you have to do your building up for your reinforcing and all that thing. I would not suggest you doing that. Just pick up the rate from Rawlinson and just convert it over there for your panel.
Good morning, RJ.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. Sorry, I was a little bit late joining. I had a meeting, but just wondering, I just come in and you were talking about the build-up rate, at least do it once or twice, and then so what do you mean by that? You mean use QV cost builder, the individual rates, so not the combined concrete reinforcement excavation rate?
What I was trying to say with here is you need to show that you understand your build-up rates as well. So when you're doing your strip footing, try doing one strip footing or two strip footing with your build-up rates, and then later on you can use the other rates basically which you have got from Rawlinson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you for the attendance. I think I got 23. So yes, and what I would suggest you guys now is, because as soon as from next week, basically, I think you got a test happening in first or second week for 6033, and you got assignments to do. You have got at least 4 assignments to submit for your 6034, at least 2 assignments for your 6033. You got 2 assignments, and the one is quite a big one, would be for 6035, and maybe another test for 6035. And then 5006, if you guys are doing that, you will be having a test over there, final test over there as well. So I would suggest you guys to start doing your Google Meets between yourself, talk to each other, do your Google Meets every day if you can, every day in the evening. So you basically then can go on top of your assignments and you can help each other discuss the things together, because there would be something which you might not be understanding, and then you have to wait until next few days for a tutorial to happen and get your answers over there, whereas your friend may have got a very good understanding of that thing and can clarify you right there on that particular day. So please start using your start doing your Google Meets, get your group formed over there, do your studies. If you cannot go to campus, just do it online. This is what we did. I had a group of 10 people who used to work with me, and we used to do Google Meet every day. Every day, 8:30 in the evening, we were there on the computer until 11:30 in the night. Every single day. Chandra can tell you about that. So please start doing that. You've got lots of things to do. And if you start doing it individually and there is a confusions and you need clarifications and all that, you would be stuck and you'll be losing lots of time. Lots of things you need to submit, and there would not be any extensions happening right now. I can tell you for that. All extensions, whatever liberty was there, was already been allocated to you in the first 8 weeks. It's not going to happen, because if that happens, you will not get your results on time. So please make your groups, use your online tools, use your Zoom meetings or your Google Meets, anything, because probably on Zoom you've got a time limit of 45 minutes or something. Use Google Meets. So yeah, 6035 test I have not marked. I think it has already been marked by a faculty which you have not met, but she's the one who taught us 6035, Anna. So you might see her in coming weeks. I'm not sure. So yeah, yes, Henry.
Hi, Ajay. There are two examples on Moodle to show us how to build up the composite rate. But I found the rates for each item are different. Which one do I need to pick up when I build up the composite?
You don't pick up any rates from the examples given to you. That can be arbitrary figures over there. You need to pick up your rates from your Rawlinson if you're using Rawlinson, or you need to pick up rates from QV. Don't pick up from your examples, because that example could have been made like 6 years back, and they're using the same example because the method is same. So they would have not changed the rates over there.
Yeah.
So don't pick up any rates from the example. If you do that, you would be, doing the wrong thing.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes. So yeah. So I would strongly advise you to, you guys to do your pick up your groups. Start working together, help each other, so that you guys are on top of all the assignments. Otherwise, it may become very, very stressful. And when you got to do, probably 10 or 15 more elements in 6035 alone, all by yourself, you would be utterly confused. So try, creating a group for yourself. Try working. Would it be possible for you to explain element 1.04? Right, let's see element 1.04. So element 104 is let me just find. All right. So bulk filling and consolidation. It is very simple. What you need to understand in this thing, you have done your excavation, and then you're going for your bulk filling after that. So if anything is happening, all right, let me draw something if I can draw over here. I don't have those tools right now. Okay. Now you know I have shown you that you get down to reduced level over there. All right. So you do your reduced level. Your bulk filling is basically anything happening between the underside of your FSG to reduced level. That's your bulk filling. So bringing it back to the level where your hard filling is going to go is your bulk filling. Your bulk filling does not happen in lots of situations because there is no point, excavating to a level, then you have to fill it back again. So bulk filling only happens, where you have got a kind of slope, where you have to cut on one side and fill on other side. So that is the bulk filling. Is it happening in your drawing anywhere with the client instruction given to you? You need to identify that. Right. So bulk filling, you got this kind of site over here. So you're doing your cuts over here. And you're doing your fills over here. So this is your bulk filling. This is your bulk excavation. Now you need to see if there is any bulk filling happening at your site. Remember, this element is for all kind of situations you can face on a site. So is this situation is happening given the client instruction to you? In your case, you need to identify that thing. If it is happening, then you got a case of bulk filling over there. But given the client instruction, if it is not happening or it has already been done by somebody else, then you don't have to worry about it. Is it clear? Because you fill it and you consolidate it because you're going to make a structure on top of that. So that is something happening when you got a slope or something. Does it make sense now? Grid 19, you know your client instruction. Your site is enabled. I told you the other day as well that your site is enabled to 350 mm below your finished floor level. So you go and check your grid 19 details, check where your site enablement is there, and does it make a case of bulk filling for you or not.
Thanks, AJ. Have a good day.
Thank you. How to calculate purlins on roof? Are you supposed to calculate purlins? I'm not sure. Check the instructions given to you, because you're following the same instruction what has been given by Ernest in your 6035 as well. Ronnie has said the instructions given by Stuart in 6034 for your excavation would apply. For your element number 6 roofing, instructions given by Ernest would apply. Yeah. Bulk excavation and filling with contours. Chandra, go and see YouTube on that, please. There are lots of videos which will tell you about that. Because if I start doing that over here, it might not be of interest of for other people, and it will confuse other people as well. I don't want to do that. Just if you want to have that extra knowledge, then please do make use of material available on YouTube or with the help of Google. So we can choose to do 1.02, 1.03, 1.04, or simply 1.09 as per client instruction, assuming it's being done. I would not answer that thing. That's for you guys to decide. Because if I answer that thing, I'm giving you a very clear answer. For structural steel, do we need to put DIM2 on area? DIM2 would be your girth of that steel member. So DIM1 would be the length of that steel member, DIM2 would be the girth of that steel member. So you would be, yep. GFA is in meter square, yes. So you have to calculate the GFA. That would be your first sheet, in your template. And that GFA would be carried forward to everything in your, element summary, in your worksheet as well, wherever it is like, it will be highlighted as yellow in your worksheet over there. And GFA, as soon as you put in your GFA calculation on your first sheet, it will automatically pick up that number and transfer it to your workbook as well as into your elemental summary.
We don't repeat that calculation on other sheets for GFA, just on the first sheet.
Yeah, so for GFA, you need to calculate from the external side of the external walls for the ground floor. And then you have to add the area of any other floors which you got. So any mezzanine floor or, suspended floors, or you got other levels, level 1, level 2 floors, you add all those floor areas, and that is your GFA. That is, the GFA is only for the main building inside, calculated from outside, of the external wall. So you do not include your canopy in that, no car park, anything external work outside the main building is not the GFA.
Is that mean does include warehouse, showroom, and office?
That's it.
But on our calculations of the 6035
Mhm.
of the is that the slab or something? Let me see. Foundation. That we only need level 1, right?
For your GFA, you got level 1, you got your suspended floors as well. As I said, GFA is calculated from the external side of the external walls. So area so you have to include the walls, and you have to calculate from the external side of the external wall. And then you have to add the areas of any floors over the ground floor.
Yeah.
Over and above ground floor. So it could be your mezzanine floor, your suspended floors, whatever are there.
Yeah. Hey, RJ, when we're doing 6035, when we're using that template, you know that all sub elements is under the elements, right?
Yeah.
Then the one that we don't need it, we delete the sub element, but we don't delete all the other elements, right?
You yeah, as per your drawing, if that sub element is not there, say demolition is not happening.
Yeah. Then we delete that.
You delete it because it's not going to happen in the next assignment as well, because it's not there at all.
Yeah. But we will keep the main element, like element 1, element 2, element 3, even we don't do element.
You have to, because if you've not calculated anything for element 3, you might be given a task in your group assignment that now calculate for element 3.
Right. So
what you can do when is just look at what they're going to be teaching us. So whatever sections we're doing, then keep those ones in.
Yeah.
They will not be teaching you about different traits or elements right now. They would be teaching you how to do your costing for that element. Now you have done your measurements. You have done your measurement takeoffs or reading the drawings has already been taught to you basically.
Yeah.
So
hey, Andre, so when we do site clearance, I assume it is the whole lot, right? The lot boundaries. When we calculate the area, right? I done it as not only the building footprint, but the whole boundary, whole size within the boundary. No,
the site clearance is for the main building.
Okay, main building.
When you do your external elements, then you'll do your clearance for the external elements when you're doing your car park or when you'll be doing your landscaping and all that thing.
Yeah.
That
so
is,
including car parking and everything like that.
Yeah. So that is not your site. Car park is not your site right now. Your site is your main building.
Just the building footprint. Yeah.
Just the building footprint and just go 2 meters on each side.
Yeah, so that will be the same for the bow excavation, right?
Excavation would be building footprint.
Yeah, building
footprint. Clearance would be building footprint plus 2 meters on all sides.
Okay, plus 2 meters on all sides.
And you have to do it and show it in your clarification that your site clearance includes 2 meters.
Each side.
Yeah.
Yeah, got that. Okay. Then what else what other question do I have? So the dewatering, we just make an allowance, right? A sum. On the unit, what do we use? A number? Items?
Sum is always a dollar figure. Where would the dollar figure go?
But we have like column L for units. Do we need to put a right units on that?
you are measuring your things, and then you're putting a dollar amount to each thing, and at the end you put, for your element, you put a dollar figure over there, because that's what you calculated from your Rawlinson. You calculated the
But the items 1.09 dewatering.
yeah.
I think
I showed you
only
when I was sharing with you the Excel sheet. I showed you it will just go into the last column where the dollar figure is there.
all right. Okay. All right, I'll do that. Substructure. I have a bit confusion about the items of sorry, I missed out the previous what an hour thing. So I am in the structural wall. Now my understanding, we need to do the PCP panel, right?
Yeah.
Do we do it in so the same square meter amount like what we did in PCP for 6034, right?
When you did your 6034, you were following ANZ-SMM, but there was a change given to you that instead of numbers, you have to do it in square meters.
Yeah.
Right?
So in 6035
In
structural wall,
6035, what is this? What is the unit of structure walls?
also square meter.
So you got your answer.
Okay, good. Okay, how do we, so my understand of the calculation shouldn't be as precise, accurate as what we done in 6034 PCP, because you know how we describe everything and how the figures come out. And this, we should just simply mention where is the panel, or what type of panel.
You'll still be doing it because you're measuring the area, aren't you? If you don't describe it, how would you measure the area? How would you calculate the average height? How would you calculate the average width?
So
Because
under 4.01, should we have 4.01.1 for one panel type, and then come
how
up
many panel types you got?
19?
So it will be 4.01.1 to 4.01.19.
Okay, got you. Sort out my question. That's good. Right. Okay, I think that's all for me today. January.
Have you guys started with your carpentry?
Not yet, Ajay.
No,
Not yet, but I've been talked to Naru about it when it's tutorial with Naru, and about some wall sizes and
Because I think it has to be submitted by 8th of October. If I'm right, I was just checking it. There's an assignment due on 8th of October.
I think I think carpentry is about 20 inches, is it?
I don't know. I might be confused. There's.
Yeah, I think so next week we're submitting PCP, and then we have Ronnie's 6035, then structural steel. After that it's carpentry. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, that's
It's
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I all I know is we just full on, okay? Every day, every week. We have things on. Don't stop. Just keep going.
Yeah, so that's what I was telling, that this, like from next week onwards, you have got a full on. It will be really, full on. When I mean full on, it will be full on. Like you would be having so many things happening in each subject.
Yeah.
Ajay, can I talk about the carpentry? Can you just little explain about the timber strapping? We need to do that part, but I got, not so many clear ideas about the timber strapping, how to calculate it.
Okay. You know where the strapping is going to happen? What exactly is strapping? What do we mean by strapping?
It's right on. Just hold on. I just need to check my drawings.
Yeah.
Hey, Ajay, while she's doing that, I just
Mhm.
wondered, so, you know, on this 6035 template, we
Mhm.
have that formulas right on above before we do any calculation, right? Element analyze, and we have glossary, F floor area, blah, blah, blah. And we got some formulas here. Do we need to keep it as it is like that when we submit? Or do we,
That is
we should
the
tidy up?
the elemental unit rate and all those formulas which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
written with
the
it?
rate formula, like
Yeah, just
equals.
keep it because that probably you would be needing it at a later stage.
All right, yeah. So it's not much of things we need to delete on those. Good.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
Hi, RJ, can you see that?
Yep.
It's over here. It's right on 45 timber strapping.
Yeah.
Wondering how to calculate for that one. I know where it is, but just
Okay, so where it is happening?
give me a second. I highlighted in my, the paper drawings, but not here.
So it is insulation happening. I think it is happening to the external walls or maybe in office somewhere.
Yeah, it's right on like where to have it. It's I think around here.
Yeah.
So for
So that's a showroom office area. Yep.
So I just wonder how to calculate, because we know for the framing we can just do top plate, noggin, stud, everything. But for the timber strapping, so what we should do is also the same thing.
Strapping is also the same thing. You just need to assume over there that the strapping is happening at every 600 mm, and there is a noggin going at every 800 mm for you.
Oh, so it's actually the same thing, but it's just different name.
It is just strapping is because it's not an individual, structural timber structure. It is something which is strapped to a timber to a PCP panel. So you cannot put your jib board directly on a PCP panel. So for that, you need a timber in between where you can put your jib in, onto. So that's why it is only 45 mm thick timber. So you put your strapping on your PCP panel, and you put your insulation, then you put your jib on it.
Yeah, before I'm thinking it's just we need to put the top plate and bottom plate for the timber strapping, but we still need to do all the noggins.
Yes. Otherwise, how would you fix the jib in the middle?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Hi Ajay, can I ask one question for calculation of PCP panel weight?
Yes.
So I checked on the Horia site, it says 2700
for a reinforced panel.
Yeah, but it says per cubic meter, and we are calculating area in square meter.
That's how you have to calculate. So you have been given the thickness of the panel?
We have given, but if we will calculate, we'll multiply with the thickness, then it will be in cubic meter.
Yes. So what you need to do is you have to do that thing separately on a different table. So you pick up the panel which has got the highest area.
Yeah.
And pick up a panel which is 150 thick and has got the highest area. Pick up another panel which is 200 mm thick and has got the highest area.
Okay.
So you've got two panels over there. One is 150 thick and has got the highest area each panel. And then you've got a panel which is 200 mm thick and has got the highest area for that panel. So when you go over there and in your different table in your sheet, you calculate the volume for that particular panel. So if it is 150 panel, you got the area. Say for example, your area is 55 meters square for that panel.
Yeah.
And you multiply 55 into 0.15, because that is the thickness of that panel, and you get the
Okay.
volume of that panel. So 55 into 0.15 will give you 8.25 meter cube.
Okay, so we just have to calculate for the heaviest one. We don't have
Yeah.
to calculate for each panel.
No, the heaviest,
Okay.
because you can identify with the area that these two panels, one for 150 mm thickness, one for 200 mm thickness, have got the highest area for each panel.
Yeah.
Now you have identified those two panels, you just calculate the weight for those two panels. So whichever comes the heaviest would be mentioned in your preamble.
Okay, yeah, only that was the confusion. Thank you.
No worries.
And one more question, Ajay, about the construction steels.
Mhm.
I'm starting doing that. As we said before, it's got the meter and the square meter we can calculate. And also we need to use a factor to convert to that, kg.
2 kgs, yeah.
Yes, and for each, like UB, you say, or the RHS, they do have a girth for that.
Yeah.
So for all of them, we all need to get the girth, then times the length.
Yeah, so girth into the length will give you the area for that member.
So, but from the Stewart's class, they said the measure meter or meter squared, but actually it's all meter squared.
See, it depends what kind of table you're using. Your unit is kgs, end of the day. Your measurement unit for structural steel is kgs.
Yes.
But how you would arrive into it, that kg is like, that depends upon the table you're using. If your table gives you the factor per meter, then you just calculate the length of that member, because that table should be exactly for that member. So if it is 125 square SHS, your table should give you 125 square SHS with 6 mm thickness. So it should be 6 mm thickness over there. And then you go per meter over there. But if you're using the table which is using meter square rate for a 6 mm plate, then it doesn't matter to you if it is a SHS or a RHS, because now you have converted everything into square meters. So even if it is a SHS, you got the girth, you multiplied it with the length, and you got the square meter area for that 6 mm thick plate. So you go and see the thick, weight for 6 mm thick plate per square meter, and you multiply it over there. You can use the same, weight for factor for your 6 mm, any 6 mm plate, whether it is your 6 mm end plate or 6 mm SHS or 6 mm RHS, because it is all converted into square meter area of that 6 mm plate now. So that makes your life easy when you go in square meters.
Yeah, the table which Stuart has given us, that has all the dimension as like weight as per meter.
So use
Yes.
that table.
So we don't need to actually calculate girth. We just get
In your case, you do not have too many steel members over there. You have got very few steel members, and those members are like very commonly used members. So you must be having those, mentioned in the table. But when it comes to specially made structural steel, when you have to fabricate it, because as I told you, like in our drawings, we had a tapered portal leg. So that has to be specially fabricated. It is not a item which is available on the shelf that you can go and buy it directly. It is not 75 SHS or 125 SHS which is available there. So it has to be specifically made. In that scenario, you need to use the square meter table, because then you convert everything into a plate of that thickness in square meters and then convert into kgs. So you need to understand both the things. What I'm trying to say over here is, what you're doing in your assignment is pretty easy thing. But when you go in your real life, you might find an assignment which or a drawing which you need to measure, which has got a a fabricated steel plate over there, which is not, available in your meter table over here, then how would you do it? You need to know that method as well.
Yeah, understand.
Any more questions? Yeah, if the kg table is there for a specific member with the same thickness, you don't have to use the square meter rates. Then you go with the meter table. So you need to make sure that thickness of that member is there in the table as well, which is exactly the same, because it is the thickness which makes the weight different. If it is a 8 mm thick, 75 SHS, and a 6 mm thick 75 SHS, those will have different kind of weights because thickness of the metal is different.
Yeah, we just check the table first. If we count
Yeah.
the right one, we
If it
just
is exactly the same, then you use that table.
yeah, got it.
If it's not exactly the same, then you have to go back to the square meter scenario. Yeah, that's correct. So how many assignments you guys have to submit now?
4.
As
Why?
soon as the session starts again.
The semester?
Like in next 2 weeks, how many assignments are going to get submitted? Because what were you doing during your break right now?
So
you
before,
doing-
before 20th October, 4.
4 assignments.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so next week we have PCB panel submit, and
Yeah.
then is that next week submitting this PCB panel?
Yeah, on Tuesday.
Remember in
And
PCB
then I
panel,
think,
in PCB
yeah,
panel,
I think Stuart delayed it for a day because he want to review how a piece of should look like when we're
Yes.
doing our calculations, because yeah, on the email he mentioned that, so it's a day delayed. Then we will have Ronnie's one coming up first, right?
Yes, cost
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah, the element analyze assignment come first. Then we have structural steel
Structural steel,
from
yeah.
from 6034, and then carpentry.
I think the same week, right? They have to be hanging.
In your PCB panel, I showed you some joints, which I think Ying asked a question. I shared that question with you guys. So make sure that you measure for those joints as well, those plates and bolts and all.
Yeah, for as a joints, right?
Yeah, for PCB panels, yeah.
Yeah.
So you go and see in the NZSMM how those things are measured. Are they measured in numbers? Are they measured in area, those plates? How those are measured? And
Oh, it's good. How those?
For
I
work.
assuming it's I assuming it's number, but let me check.
you need to
Wanna
check
check
the
right now.
NZSMM.
But those one only on grid D, right?
I'm
Red
not
line
sure.
D.
Just check how many times F4 is happening. If F4 is happening only on grid T, then it is only on grid T. But if it is happening on grid 19, 10, wherever, because those joints may be happening in different PCB panel at different at all places as well.
So Ajay, the plate one which is connecting two PCB panels, that will come under PCP.
Yes.
Okay.
There's
I
nothing
was-
structural steel about it because
Okay. I was assuming that that a part of structural steel.
no, it will not be.
Okay.
Oh, I got another question. When
Mhm,
we calculate our GFA upstairs, we need to deduct the stairwell as well, right?
Yes,
Okay,
it's just the floor area. You need
just
to
the floor, yeah. I know it, but I just want to confirm it. Yeah.
And also we need to
Okay.
for the panel, right? For the, up level, for the precasting panel. When we have the, the numbers, it's actually include like the centers of the panel. So we still need to deduct for the panel, right? For the up level, up floor level.
Yep. So see, remember, GFA is from the external end of the external walls. So in your suspended floors, do you have any external walls?
No, so yeah, we have to deduct it.
Okay. Fixing units. Those PCB panels joints is at the fixing unit, right?
Yeah, that could be fixing units. Yeah.
So I think it says numbers.
So you need to mention the size
Yeah,
and thickness over there.
thickness
how many-
and the size, and how many bolt. I mean, how is that fixed, right?
Yep.
Sort of.
And then you have to
Okay.
measure for bolts separately.
Both separately. So is those bolts gonna be under sun dry then?
Yes.
Sundries, sorry, sundry, sundries. I mean, okay. Okay, we have so that's extra number to add on. Right. Yeah. Uh,
And please make sure when you submit your assignment, submit in within the time frame. Make sure that you are submitting the right kind of file, because at times you're submitting your Word file, which is your cover sheet, and then you might end up submitting just the cover sheet only. You might end up submitting cover sheet twice only.
yeah.
So please don't do this. Just go and check that you have submitted the right kind of file over there.
Yeah.
Because we all are human and we can make mistakes. Make sure that you go back and check that you have not made any mistakes.
Ajay, is it possible? Can you show us how to delete or hide the column from our 6035 PSoft?
Okay. Let me just see if I can. See, in this case, you can see over here, the element 1, I don't have 101 over here because there was no demolition.
Yeah.
That has been deleted. Right. All you need to choose is those lines, choose those lines which are making for 1.01. And just
Okay, so just
delete
like
them.
normal, we delete the cells.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
Thank you.
So when we're submitting, I assuming everything need to be hidden and we only see those main
All right.
after hiding items, right?
Yeah. So check
Okay.
this thing. This is dewatering. 1.09. Allow for dewatering. Are we doing any measurement over here?
No,
Are we doing any calculation over here on the other side?
no, not at all.
What
Then
we
just
did? That's a unit given to you. That's what you allowed for.
Yeah.
That comes over here. And you mention over there.
nice. So I look at the samples and I realized most of calculations done and
I think you're breaking up when you're breaking up.
on the sample that noodle, like most of six done if like aerial is done on the side cast for aerial and then put. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little
Yeah?
better now because you were breaking up a lot initially.
All right, because I think the Wi-Fi is not really good. So when we do our calculation measurement, do we do it DIM 1, DIM 2, DIM 3 as same as previous what we do on the measurement?
Yeah.
Or do
yeah.
we do it on the sidecar and put it in DIM 1 and leave the rest of them
Now,
1,
wherever you can use your DIM 1, DIM 2 for your measurement, you need to use it over there. And then, you know, similar way. And if you're doing all your calculation in your sidecast, then put that thing in DIM 1.
Okay, good. Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
See, you go with your element, what is not required, the sub element. So for example, in your element 1 demolition is not there, so you can delete that. But don't delete site preparation and bulk excavation and all that thing. There may be a figure given to you at later stage to do that. All right. Similarly, if you're not doing element 3, don't delete it. If you delete it, you will be in trouble later on. So just delete which you think for sure is not going to happen. Just, for example, that demolition was not going to happen because it's not there in yours. Otherwise, I would not suggest you to delete anything else. And don't worry about hiding because we would be looking at those elements over there as soon as your group assignment would start.
Yeah. And also, Ajay, I think Jingjing sent an email. I mean, the student Jingjing sent a RFI to on the 6035, and I think Stuart replied.
Yeah. What did you say?
A bit confusing now. So Ronnie said we can use the client instruction that 6034 used it.
Yeah.
But Stuart said, because it's not a measurement class, and we should do it as cost planning. So that is really giving us an answer that we need to do all those site cleanings, bio excavations. I mean, element 1 should be calculated, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You need to do that then. Stuart is saying that, but you need to. So because you've got 2 different answers over there. You need when it is going to be submitted?
10th of October.
10th of October. So definitely you are going to
in
have
10 days.
at least 2 classes before that. at least one class in any case before that. So that would be your first question to ask when you can come into the Zoom class, lecture class.
Yeah, right.
If I would be you, I would be calculating everything right now, because I would not wait for that answer that yes, you need to calculate and then get stressed because I
Yeah,
did not calculate it before.
yeah,
I would do my calculations and then ask the question, which way I have to go? Do I have to go Ronnie way? Do I have to go Stuart's way? And if I get the answer which way I have to go, I'll keep my calculation or I do not keep my calculations. But I've already done the job. I'm not stressed. Whichever way it goes, I am prepared for that.
Hi, Ajay, if you
Mhm.
don't mind, would you mind just show us the work you just done for the precast panel? We can see how we should, write the one you did. We just want to see the, example. The one you did for precast panel, you just show us what you did maybe for last semester.
No, we did not calculate precast panel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We were not that lucky. We were given all hard tasks, to do. Precast panel is one of the easiest one. Any more questions?
Since you just said precasting panel, we have to use a different type of panel. We need to list 19 different panels. So I checked for the 200 millimeter thickness, they have the different surface. So for the rate, I just use a normal one and add for the extra, for example, the plain surface.
Okay. Now, first clarify when you ask your question, are you asking in context of 6035 or are you asking in context of 6034?
Oh, 6035 cost planning.
Yeah,
I just
6035, then you need to understand that you are calculating only for the structural walls. So maybe all 19 of them would not be making the structural walls. So you need to see which precast panel is working as a structural wall over there as well, and which is working just simply as a partition. All right. Understand the differentiation between structural wall and normal partition wall. So in 4.01, you are measuring the structural walls. If it happens to be an external wall, if it happens to have a kind of finish, you need to mention it. But if it is not a structural wall, even if it has got a finish, if it has got anything else, it's not being counted in element 4 because it is not a structural wall.
yeah.
So you need to understand the differentiation first.
yes,
So
and I
when
found the cost planning, rate in the 7 for the finish for the example wall. So I'm just wondering, do we need to add this rate to the element 4 or just leave it for the element 7 to do that?
Okay. Now, how many panels will be used as external walls? And those panels, if they are being used as external walls, have got your finish over there. That would be included in your detail. If your Rawlinson rate has got that finish in it, then you don't have to worry about adding anything extra. If your Rawlinson rate does not have anything including the finish, then there would be some add extra for this finish kind of thing given in your Rawlinson. You add that rate in your square meter rates and make up your built-up rates for that.
Okay, for the element 4, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you.
So you've got to be very clear, is it coming under structure wall or not? That is the first point of difference you need to understand. Element 4 is about structure wall. It could be your PCP panel, it could be a masonry wall, it could be your, any other wall, block wall or anything. As long as it is performing the function of a structural wall, performing the function of that element.
Yeah, yes, I will go double check.
Yeah.
Ajay, even the timber wall will come under that category?
If it is a structural wall, yes. In your residential building, it is timber wall, the structural wall.
Because in the book, it just says concrete wall, including reinforcement, formwork, and fair face finish. And 4.02 says a reinforced concrete masonry wall, including reinforcement, formwork, and concrete filling and grouting. So they haven't mentioned about timber.
Yeah, because what we are doing is we are doing it for the industrial or commercial construction basically. So
Okay.
the timber is not included in that.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
But timber walls can be structural wall. That is what I'm trying to say over here. Timber walls in your residential scenario.
Yeah, most of the time it is timber wall.
It will be your structural walls.
So the party wall between those units, it's not a structural wall.
Is it carrying any weight? See your elevations.
When you say carrying any weights, carrying any
any load from, any lateral load down. You know your lateral and vertical loads. You've done your 5006 by now. So you should be knowing all that. Yeah, the lectures would be on Zoom as of now, but I don't have any information that's going back to the classroom session as of now. So see, like you got your I think grid line D. Grid line D will tell you if anything is there being used as a structural wall.
Yeah.
Grid line 17 is there.
So Ajay, sorry for the grid line D, because it's so many different panel and the size. Would you mind just point 1 or 2 example for which one may be not the structural wall?
All right, can I share then?
Sure.
If I can share, then I can show you. So you guys need to tell me I'll just ask question. What do you think about grid line 10? Is it a structural wall?
Yes, that's all. That's all structural walls, as my understanding.
Let's come to grid line 11. Do you think you can see any structural wall over here? So what is happening on grid line D? Is this a structural wall?
Yes, it is.
All right. Whatever is happening over here, is it a structural wall?
I think so because
I-
it
Yeah,
takes the
it is.
load.
So what is there a PCB panel over here?
Yes,
So is that a structural wall?
I think so, because support for the suspended floor area.
And then you got the load coming from here. You got your vertical load coming over here. You got your lateral load coming from here. So you got two loads. That's your vertical load. That's your lateral load. Which is coming onto this thing through your 230 PFC. So 230 PFC is sharing the load between this member and this member. So this is your structural wall. If there is a wall over here, it is a structural wall. If you've got a concrete wall over here, it's a structural wall.
Yes, my confusion is about the grade line D, because they have different like size of the precasting wall. For me, it look like all like the structural wall, wall. So I just want to know for the grade D, which is page 10.
Grid line D is the touch of the panels, the rolling door, entrance windows.
Now tell me one thing. Grid line D, isn't it an external wall?
Yeah, it is an external
External.
wall, and it is transferring load to the foundation as well.
All the external wall would be taking the load.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
So from that, I think it's all like the structural wall for
Yes.
the
So you
order.
should, like for grid line 10, 19, A and D, you should not even get confused that it is not a structural wall.
Yeah. The part you were between, I think it's only the bit that contact with the office and the showroom. It's a structural. And the
See,
remaining that it's not,
all
is it?
these walls, like this is like grid line B. Let's go to grid
Yeah,
line.
grid line B, yes.
So grid line D,
Grid lines,
it's all carrying the load. That's your roof load coming onto this wall over here through this 250 PFC. So all your roof load, which is your lateral load, is coming onto this, and then you've got your vertical load going there. So this is your lateral load of the roof going and transferring onto 250 PFC. And from there, it's getting transferred through your walls and your panels onto the ground. So all of these are structural walls. Even over here, the load is coming over here, then you have got a steel member working as a lintel situation over here, and load is getting transferred. Over here, you've got another member taking the load, and then load is getting transferred over here. So, and this wall is carrying the load of this member and this window unit over here. Similarly, this wall is also carrying the load of this thing. Non-structural walls are the walls which are there in a building, which are just here. There is no load coming onto this. They are just made for partition purposes. So you got a door over here somewhere, door over here somewhere. There's no load going onto these walls. So just, you got an office room over here. You might have a lobby over here, but the roof load is going onto these two walls over here. This wall is not connected to anything. Yeah, there maybe a suspended ceiling over here. It's just connected to suspended ceiling. So there's no load coming onto this. That is your non-structural wall. Does it make sense to you guys? I'm not getting any reply.
I understand that all the external wall is structural wall. My confusion is, I guess, the party wall between Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, which is on grid line 16 and 13. Partly is structural because they are taking the office slab, suspended slab low.
So you go and see the walls happening on grid line 16 and 13. Let's go and see grid line 16 and 13, because those are the two partition walls you can see.
Yeah.
They're not partition walls as such, like they're doing the job of a partition, but are they structural walls or not? So let's go. Which page is grid line 13 and
9?
One more page up, I think.
Yeah. So grid line 16.
Yeah.
What you can see on grid line 16 happening? You can see there's a 250 PFC over there.
Yeah.
So how is this wall working? Because you have got individual roofs going on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there is a parapet happening in between.
So it does take a load.
So it is taking the load of load of the roof over here for C1, C2, and C3.
Yeah.
So that load is getting transferred to this 230 PFC, I think, on that side.
Right. Okay.
And over here, it is taking the extra load of
the suspended
ceiling through reed bars and all that thing.
Yeah. All right then. Good. Understand now.
I'm going to see the chat. Yeah, I presume all PCPs are structural wall then. All right. Any more questions, or are we done for the day?
Well, that's all for me so far, and I'm gonna have to work on this calculations and rates for the 6035, and then I might have some more.
Yeah, we just do it first. Yeah, if we find questions, we'll come back to you.
Yeah, we'll see you on Sunday then. And
You want the Sunday's tutorial too?
Yeah, Sunday tutorial is in afternoon, right?
6.
You need to check with Naru.
Are you gonna come and join?
I think
Are
Yeah,
you
I'll-
joining as well?
Yeah, I will try my best to be there. I don't have anything
Great.
happening this Sunday, so yeah.
So it would be the new timing 6 o'clock, right?
Oh, Naru, yeah, Naru's going to confirm.
That is for Naru to decide.
Mm.
I'm not sure because last week she changed it. Has he changed it for every Sunday? I don't know because I did not see that email.
All right then.
Yeah. So I was there on 2 o'clock with few people, you know, waiting to
Should
join.
we just email her, RJ?
Just check because you guys are connected with her on Discord. Just
Yeah,
send
I
her.
will double check
Yeah.
with her. Then ask her to send it like it
Yeah.
will be permanent change or just for once.
Yeah. So like if she has got it, and let me know as well. I would not come on 2 o'clock because otherwise last time I came and joined at 2 o'clock.
Nobody was there.
You know, there were few people, and I
Oh.
got informed that yeah, it is 6 o'clock. There was an email or something. So yes,
Okay.
because what email she sent it through 6033 as well. So not everybody does 6033. But I believe many of you who are doing 6034 and 6035 as well would be part of that Discord group. So just if you can.
Yeah,
That information going on Discord. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not part of that Discord group. So if you guys can, find out and just if somebody can let me know, that would be great. So I can make some plans during the day and come back in the evening, or if it is as usual, then I'll come during the day. All right, guys, enjoy your, weekend. And yeah, you got lots of things to do. Have fun. Please start, doing your Google Meets. Do that. Very, very important. So that you can help each other. And yeah, and you would be like on top of your assignments. Otherwise, it would be a bit stressful if you want to do everything by yourself, and and you've got questions, you've got nowhere to go to ask other than tutorials. So it will be difficult. All the best. I will see you guys on Sunday. Have a good weekend.